right, man, Sam, I'm pumped about our conversation today because, as you and I were talking earlier, like this has been something that I've been researching and really paying attention to over the last couple of years for my own personal health, because I'm not getting any younger, and the older that I get, the more I see that my health has got to be a extremely important thing in my life that I got to be in control over. So, first of all, Sam, welcome to the show, dude. So glad to have you on.
It's a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you are doing something awesome. You've got a company called Liquevita, which is really in the services of wellness and health and beauty. And man, what you're doing is awesome. Give our audience just a really quick rundown of what you do, maybe some products that you provide for people, and kind of like just your heart and why you want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Liquevita, we're primarily known for IV nutrition. That's how we started, which is a lot of people know it as the vitamin drips, where you're getting vitamins, minerals, and amino acids directly into the bloodstream. So we do a lot of that. We're an exclusive vendor for a lot of doctors throughout the nation for the product. So we really have been able to build up the brand with IV nutrition. But we also have our Liquevita wellness centers, which are wellness centers. They're state-of-the-art facilities. We focus on overall wellness and beauty. Part of that, we do different programs to help people. We try to take more of a preventative medicine approach to medicine versus what we're so used to here in the US, which is conventional medicine. We kind of wait for people to get sick and then treat them. For us, we want to prevent people from getting sick. So some of the things that we do on our wellness side is we do hormone optimization. So we do everything from the testosterone for men. We work with women on the progesterone, estradiol levels. As you know, I mean, you mentioned it earlier. As you age, everything starts to like kind of shut down. Your natural production of testosterone starts to decrease. So I think statistically, they say once you hit age 28 as a male, your testosterone starts to decrease 2 to 3% every single year. Yeah. And as you know, as a male, testosterone is like, that's our mojo, right? Yeah. So with our testosterone replacement programs, we get people to get their vitality back. Yeah. Some of the other services and modalities we offer, we do medical weight loss. We use some very unique peptides that helps basically spike your metabolism, help with the lipolysis effect of losing weight. We have our beauty division where we do a lot of our medical aesthetics injectables like the Botox, the fillers. We do the lip fillers, the different target different wrinkles, increase volume in a patient's face. We do other aesthetic procedures like body contouring. And then we also have a regenerative medicine side where we use stem cell derived products that like exosomes, which help regenerate certain tissues, help with certain pain, help athletes with some of their endurance, alongside with our other division that we do that also falls kind of in that regenerative medicine space, which is for sexual health, where we do certain procedures and we have some technologies that help with their sexual health for males with erectile dysfunction. That, our different procedures help with increase of the blood flow, help with sensitivity with females, help with certain things accomplishing their climax, the moisture, things of that nature. So in a nutshell, that's Liquevita. It's there's no, that you always hear in the industry is like, oh, anti-aging. You can't stop the aging process, but there's age management. We can manage the way you age, so you can have better quality of life as you age.
Yeah. Well, for those of you that are not watching or seeing this on our YouTube channel, the video, like Sam has no wrinkles at all anywhere on his face or his forehead. Like even he's got dimples with his smile, but that's about it, man. I mean, that's you look awesome, man. And obviously you are not only the owner, but you're probably a patient in some of this stuff too, right? So
yeah, I live it. We actually call that your Vita journey. It's like, when you live your Vita journey, that means you're dabbling in all of the different divisions of Liquevita. And you know, hey, I appreciate that about the no wrinkles. I mean, I feel like I got a few there, but you know, hashtag no filter, right? That's what people
Right.
always post. So, and
Yeah.
that's what we want. We don't want people to have to use these filters on all of these
Amen.
different social media platforms.
Yeah, amen to that, dude. Well, the thing that really excites me about what you guys do is two things. One is a personal experience. It was about 2 years ago. I was getting ready to compete in a Spartan race, and it was the Beast. And this is the 13 mile. You're going vertical. You're doing all these obstacles, and I knew like the previous ones that I had done. I knew that for me, hydration was going to be key, and the getting into getting an IV to make sure that I was hydrated. Like once I discovered that you could do this, because I didn't really know about this too much in my journey. Holy cow. I went in, got my IV, I got the nutrients that I needed, I got hydrated, and that race went phenomenal for me. Like I
Nice.
didn't almost die like I did in the previous race, right? And from then on, I was sold. And so I love what you're doing because it is about the health and vitality of human beings. It's about helping people because most of us don't know how dehydrated we are. We don't know what we're lacking in nutrients, whether it's vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, whatever it is. Like until we start paying attention to it and knowing that there's certain like you can't like what you guys do. You can't take a pill for that. Like you can't take enough pills of vitamin C as opposed to what you guys are doing when it comes to and the direct application of it.
That's right. That's right.
Now, so let's talk. So not only like what do you see is right now, like for people when they come see you, like what do they typically, I don't want to say like what are they typically missing, but like what are they typically struggling with? Is it the internal health, or are they going there for external reasons for the most part? What are you seeing?
So I'll touch up a little bit about that. So Liquevita, we don't it's you don't come in and you just pick anything off of a menu. You know,
Okay.
it's not like a fast food restaurant, which don't get me wrong, there's some people in the industry, that's how they have it. Hey, I want to get a
Yeah.
little Botox. Oh, like us, we want to get a good baseline. We want to get a good bird's eye view of what's happening with the patient's health,
Okay.
regardless if it's external or internal. Typically, we like to start looking at it internally. You
Yeah.
know, and I'll give you an example. Even if someone's coming in for Botox or fillers or doing one of these microneedling facials to help rejuvenate the skin, well, the skin is one of those organs that primarily you have a hydration has a huge effect on how the skin is gonna appear, right? So
Yeah.
that's something intracellular. So for us, when we have people that come into Liquevita, what we like to do is do blood work on them. So we can see exactly what's happening at the cellular level. Now, a lot of people, when they hear that, say, oh, well, I do my yearly blood work with my doctor every 6 months or every year. Yeah, your general practitioner is not doing the same blood work we're doing. We do a
Exactly.
very, very comprehensive blood analysis. The blood work we do, we're looking at micronutrients deficiencies. We're looking at hormone imbalances. We're looking at potential autoimmune issues. We're
Hmm.
looking at all of your different hormones. We're looking at food sensitivities. We're looking at environmental allergies. We're looking at environmental toxins that you can get
Wow.
exposed to through food and also environment. We're looking at a magnitude of other different things in that blood work. Our blood work is typically anywhere between 15 to 30 pages long. I mean,
Wow.
it is very comprehensive. Typically, most doctors are not going to test what we're looking for unless you're already symptomatic.
Yeah.
For us, we do it differently. We look at it so we can, even if you're still within the clinical range that's set by, you know, the studies that they do nationally,
Yeah.
if you're on the low range, like vitamin D3, the range is like from 20 all the way up to 100. If you're ranging around a 20, yeah, they consider that still normal. For us, that's not normal. We
Yeah.
want to bring you to your optimal levels. We want to get you closer to 100. So we're going to put you on supplemental vitamin D3, which, you know, D3, it's one of those vitamins that you don't necessarily feel something right away. But if you're lacking and you're deficient in it, it's going to cause a lot of chronic illnesses down the line. Vitamin
Yeah.
D3 wards off like 6 different tumors. So, you know, that's what we do in Liquevita. Is like we really want to see what's going on, and then from there we create those customized treatment plans for all of our patients.
Hmm. I think it's great, man. And I love your passion. And I mean, we didn't discuss this, but in a former life, you were a fireman. So you were saving lives because there was something bad that was typically happening. And now you're on this other journey in your life, which is amazing, that you're saving lives by helping them prevent those future issues. Right. And I think that's just such an awesome story for you. Now, I want to get into, if you don't mind, let's kind of transition into your franchising of this. Does that sound good?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I love it because you and I spoke about this earlier. Like when I had that experience, I'm like, okay, I'm calling my doctor buddy and I'm going, we need to do this because this will impact people's lives. This is such a positive thing that we can do, that I know that we can help so many people. I was thinking of him like my dad. He's getting to this age where I know like his body's breaking down and I know he's not getting the nutrients because he doesn't eat as good as he should and he doesn't get the exercise. I'm thinking, man, what are the ways that I can do to help him increase his longevity in his life and help not only in the longevity, but also make life enjoyable for him as well too. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking the same thing. I love what you've done with your company. You haven't just kind of like said, hey, I'm just going to monopolize this and grow this, here just in this area of Florida. I want to franchise this because we've got the systems in place. We've got the resources in place to help other people throughout the entire country. You kind of shared with me that you've already been able to do this in other locations. Talk to us about the franchise part of the business.
Yeah. So when I got into the business, initially, I wasn't thinking about franchising. And, once I put a group of partners together, our attorneys are franchise attorneys, which they're equity partners in the business. And they expressed the interest of us franchising. And for me, I'd love to help as many people as possible. That's why I went from being a teen as a lifeguard to a firefighter to, having our own business and health and wellness to make people well. Right. Yeah. So with franchising, it allows me to scale quickly and really get the services that we offer and try to help a lot of people. So historically, everything that we do has only been, accessible to the most affluent. It's been extremely expensive, to participate in these type of services and modalities. So with Liquevita, my goal was to create it affordable. So it's not just for the white collar, but also the blue collar can afford it. And that's what we've done. So we do it through a franchise model. We're franchising nationally. We're in multiple states now. And, besides just helping people be well, at the same time, I'm trying to help people have great business opportunities, the same business opportunity that I created for myself.
Yeah, I love it. So let's kind of get in the details of this because I might be asking for a friend, and I put that in quotation marks right here. What is somebody like that says, hey, listen, I love it. I've got an interest in this. Like what's the process? How do they inquire? What does that look like? I mean, once again, if you're passionate about it, but you really don't have a clue what you're getting into, maybe because you're not a registered nurse, because you're not in the medical field, like what does that look like?
Yeah. So, obviously there's a qualification process that they have to go through to make sure that this is a good fit for them. The first step is them going through like the discovery day to really understand what Liquevita is all about. There's a lot of information they can view on our website. We got some great videos on franchising, on what we do. And, we want to make sure that this is something that people want to get involved in. It's not just all about the money. This is something you have to be passionate for, and you have to have, the drive to be able to help people and basically live the Vita journey yourself. Yeah. So, the qualification process, obviously there's a financial component to it. Make sure that you have the appropriate capital to be able to get involved in this business. Yeah. What we look for is someone with a strong business background that understands how to handle business. Sure. If they have a medical background, it's always a plus, right? Yeah. And then, obviously we go through the process where we're reviewing the resume, if they were involved in a franchise business before. And then, from there, we take it step by step.
So when somebody says, hey, I'm raising my hand, I want to do this, how long does it take for a typical franchise to be up and running once they say, we're good, and you say, yep, you guys are good?
So when it hits that at that phase, right? When people say, "Oh, I'm ready to go and I'm ready to sign." So in the world of franchising, like if you told me today, "Hey, I want to open up a franchise. I'm ready to sign. I'm ready to cut you a check," right?
Yeah.
There's a 14-day cool off period. So,
Okay.
they created that, which, as a franchisor, it's like, oh man, we're trying to build more units. You got 14 days that you could potentially lose a potential franchisee.
Yeah.
But there's a reason behind that. The whole purpose of the 14 cool off period is to make sure there's enough time for that potential franchisee to do their due diligence and make sure that this is going to be a good investment opportunity for them and their family or any partners that are involved. So at the point in time that the 14-day cool off period goes by, we execute the franchise agreement. They pay the initial franchise fee. And then from there, from the date of signing that franchise agreement, typically it's going to take anywhere between 6 to 9 months from signing the franchise agreement to opening up the store. And there's a whole onboarding phase, building out the location, dealing with the contractors, permits, the onboarding, training, and all of that stuff, the hiring process, which we actually handhold the whole process during those 9 months. So, we help with the hiring. The type of franchise we have, it's not like, a yogurt shop or sandwich shop where you're hiring, high school kids to make these sandwiches. Ours is you're hiring professionals, educated professionals that have doctorate degrees, masters, bachelor degrees. So we know that there's a management component on our behalf to get the right qualified people to work for the franchisee.
I'm really familiar with franchises. We've got one in our real estate portfolio. And then I've got a number of other ones that I have buddies that are running franchises. What type of a model do you guys have as a franchise? Is it independently owned and operated? Are you a Chick-fil-A model? Like break that down for us a little bit.
Yeah, it is independently owned and operated. We look for franchisees that are not going to just throw money at it and kind of sit back. What we're looking for are the franchisees that are going to be operator owners. They're going to be involved. They're going to be at the store. They're going to be building up their team. They're going to be a true leader for the business. That's what we look for specifically.
What have you seen? And maybe you just said it, but like the people that have franchised and they're in different markets, like what have you seen for them to be successful in those markets? Any takeaways from what you've experienced already?
You have to be knees deep into it. Like you have to eat, sleep, and Liquevita, so you got to go. I mean, this is it. You have to live that life. I go out to happy hour on Friday. I'm out there handing out my business cards to everybody. That's how you make a successful business. You're posting on social media. That's the type of operator owners that Liquevita looks for.
Yeah. Well, I think it's brilliant when you go to happy hour and you're handing your business cards to everybody because they're all going to be dehydrated the next day. So it's a good thing. I'm like, if you come and see us before noon, we'll give you 10% off.
Oh yeah, especially here in South Florida, man. There's a lot of people, a lot of tourism also. Like we have a location in Fort Lauderdale right by the beach, and we're more health and wellness, but we do have that hangover drip if you're hungover. Totally. And literally in 30 minutes, you feel fantastic. Sometimes you feel better than what you did before you started drinking.
Yeah.
So, but we have a lot of that here in South Florida.
Yeah. Man, I love it. So I'm just curious to know too, since you're so knee deep into this, like, where do you think health is going? Because I was listening to a podcast the other day and one of the doctors on there was saying, listen, if you can get to 75 with technology and with science right now, you'll get to 100. And my first question is like, well, what's quality of life look like? But where do you think we're going into in the future of health and vitality? And what can we expect to see?
Well, I'll tell you one thing is that the stats are showing it. People want to get away from that typical healthcare.
Yeah.
And with Liquevita, what we're doing is we're putting the word health back into healthcare, right? Because truthfully, what we have now is sick care.
Yeah.
They treat you when you're sick.
Yeah.
So you're already seeing a bit of a shift where a lot of insurance companies, medical insurance companies, they don't even require the holder to have a primary care physician anymore. That whole thing of, hey, this is, the family doctor, been the family doctor for the last 30 years, that doesn't exist. But what people are looking for now is that, number one, they're looking for a better quality of life, right?
Yeah.
They're looking for prevention. So you're seeing a lot of the health and wellness stuff just grow. I mean, even the fast food restaurants, they're switching it up. I saw the other day, I got an email from Papa John's. What was it? Crustless pizza bowls, So now even Papa
Crustless
John's
pizza
is
bowls.
yeah, pizza crustless bowl. So basically, it's all
Like
your toppings
salad.
for the pizza, except for the crust without the carbs. So it's like everyone's making that switch, right? That whole shift, should I say? And we're here to support that as Liquevita, because that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to prevent people from ending up having these chronic illnesses.
Yeah, I love it, man. I think that's exactly right. What's going on with our healthcare system is that not only is it, as you say, it's not healthcare, it's sick care, but we're not even we're trying to fix the symptom, and we're not going to the root of the issue. And I love what you're doing, and what you said with the blood work is, you guys are diving deep into it to see, hey, what's the root cause of this? And just like you said, it might be into the, minimums that you could be in, but there's no way to live life. Like, you can do so much better by simply just adding this vitamin or this supplement and this taking care of this in your health and your vitality. Like I said, I'm almost a little bit like speechless in a sense, because I just love this part of what you're doing so much. When it comes to like what you're seeing in our youth, like, do you got like, how young can your patients be when it comes to this?
So we focus on adults,
Okay.
right? Because those are the people that are really trying to manage their manage their age process, the aging process. But we do deal with a few like adolescents, like in their teens, depending, like if they're dehydrated and stuff, we'll do some of that stuff. Obviously, the hormones is not something we're going to mess with people that are that young. But truthfully, those are the people that we still want to educate and market to, because at the end of the day, that's what I call the future core, right? The future core of your business are these younger people. And these younger people, if you start educating them and letting them understand what they have to do for their health and wellness, by the time they get to a certain age, they already know, hey, I got to call Liquevita, get my blood work checked. I got to call Liquevita to get my vitamins. I got to call Liquevita to get my preventative Botox. So, that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. And I think that's awesome too, because I'm sure that with the parents that you guys are serving, that also helps set the example for their children to see how important that is for their health and vitality of their folks. And so as they come of age, so to speak, they'll know and understand how important that is too. I love that you guys are also working with athletes. For me, as a former athlete, it was an injury that eventually led to my retirement in my career. And as I look back on it, I see how far medicine has come. I've seen how far health and vitality and proactiveness have come in the sports arena. And, I know I can't go back in time, but there are times where I'm just like, man, I wish I had access to these things. And it sounds like you guys are working with a lot of athletes to help and make sure that they are, that they're healthy now, but they're also, when they are injured, they recover that much faster.
Yeah, we do work with a lot of athletes. We try to enhance their performance in a way that it's not, doping, where there's like blood doping and stuff. So, but we've dealt with some really big names, that have literally snapped pictures for us. Shaquille O'Neal, you go on our Instagram, you'll see he does the IV drips that we offer. A lot of the UFC fighters, we work with them also. Everybody from we've had Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal, Thiago Silva, all these big name people. We really have worked with them. But truthfully, those athletes are great because they help us get the word out. But the ones that we see the most of are the people that do it as a hobby. The triathletes, the people that are
Yes.
doing, the 5Ks and doing the Ironmans. These people are just like, they're all about their health,
Yeah.
and they understand and they feel the difference.
Yeah. Well, you are the trainer for them, right? I mean, you guys are the people, like the staff that they go to when they need to get hydrated, or when they need a certain vitamin, or they need recovery. When you get into that elite level, you got all those resources around you already, and you've got paid staff that help you. And then when they want to do other things outside of that, they can most certainly do it. But you're absolutely right. It's the common athlete, or the average Joe, average Jane, in a sense, that needs access to what you guys have. And so I love what you guys are doing. As we wrap this up, like any words of advice, like what would you say to somebody right now that's kind of like, oh man, like, did I hear what you're saying, Sam? But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm pretty good. I mean, does life get really any better than kind of where I'm at? I mean, I'm supposed to age anyways. I'm 50 years old, and, I mean, I'm going to have some bumps and bruises. I just don't really see the importance of spending money in that department of my life.
Well, so this is one thing I'll say. You don't know what you don't know, right? So you got to find out. So one of the things with Liquevita, we work with a lab when we do the comprehensive blood analysis that takes about 90% of the commercial insurances that are out there. So the blood work we do for most of our patients, it's covered, So I would say find the Liquevita or even one of our competitors that do the same thing that we do, and get that comprehensive blood work done. Figure out truly what's happening with your health. And who knows, you might feel fine now, but you might find something in your blood work that raises a red flag, and you're able to correct it. How you said earlier, our healthcare is always so focused on just treating the symptoms, never the root cause. But when you do that blood work, we can look and see and target that root cause and prevent you from actually having those symptoms later down the line.
Yeah, love it, man. That's great advice. And anybody listening to this right now should definitely take upon that for sure. All right. So how do people find you? Where do they find out where Liquevita is at throughout the country so they can get in there?
Yeah, so best place to find us is online, our website, which is pretty straightforward, www.liquevita.com, and that's LIQUIVIDA. You can also find us on our Instagram page. Our Instagram page is same thing, Liquevita. You could just search it. You'll find our corporate page there and a bunch of our franchise pages. And then, obviously we're on all the other digital platforms, also Facebook, Twitter. If you're looking for me specifically, you can find me on LinkedIn. That's Samael Tejada. That's SAMAEL, last name TEJADA. I go by Sam. My Instagram handle is Sammy, SAMMY _Tejada, TEJADA, and then another underscore after Tejada.
Awesome. Well, I know that people are going to need to see the visual of this, so we're going to have all of this in the show notes, so they won't even have to worry about it. They'll just click on it from there. And then, of course, if they want to look at partnering with you, want to be a part of the franchise, can they just go to the same website as well?
Yeah, same website. We have a button there that they could click and watch our franchise video that explains a little bit of what we do. And then from there, they can fill out the form. And one of our team leaders will contact them, give them more information. We'll send them over the franchise disclosure documents, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, I have really enjoyed my time with you, dude. Thanks for sharing with our audience. And it's so good to get to meet you and to see what you're doing. I just love what you're doing, man. It's awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, you guys. Hey, listen, we know that this is the only price of admission to this podcast is for you to share it. And Sam brought some great information for us today. And I got to tell you, like, your health and vitality, that's the thing that you can control. That's the thing that you can be proactive in life. And knowing that Sam has created an amazing company that you can participate in is even better. So go out there. This needs to get in the hands of other people. Absolutely love you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.